Now, for this government support for business in this case, okay, the JSS, I think everybody is very concerned about over here because of COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 under this circuit breaker, the month of April as well as May, okay, everybody had to stay at home, except for those very essential services. Now, in this case, originally the job support scheme, 25% of the cash grant is given, okay, to each local employee from October to December 2019 and from February to July 2020. But for the month of April and May, where there's a circuit breaker, government is actually subsidizing 75% cash grant in this case. So there's also a higher support for severely affected sector. In this case, the cash grant is only applicable over here to local employees. Now, what do we mean by local employee? We are referring to Singapore citizen and Singapore permanent resident. This is actually automatically given. All right. All right. So some of my clients and some of my friends, okay, you can stop calling me and asking me whether can your staff that is under the work permit, are they applicable to this? The answer is no. It's only applying to Singapore citizen as well as PR, and you do not need to apply. Government will base on the CPF contribution that you have already contributed in the last few months and give out the payout accordingly. Now, these are some of the severely affected sector, okay, airline, qualifying license, or hotels, travel agents, as you know that they are badly affected. So 75% is given to them throughout from October to July. All right, licensed food store, 50% is given out to them. Now, take note about this important slide over here, because this is actually the payout, how the payout is going to be given. So in the month of April 2020, which is the last month, you have probably received your October, November, December wages, your subsidies for these 3 months. Now, why 75% October 2019, you may ask. You say, you know, Ken, just now you're mentioning is 25%, 75% is only for April and May. But why is that? Are they giving us 75% for October first? Now, government recognized that in the month of April, under this circuit breaker, business requires funding, business requires cash in this case. So they actually give out 75% of the October 2019 wages to you first. And later on, when they are about to disperse the April 2020 funds subsidies to you, they will minus off the 50% of the October 2019 wages in this case. Now, if you notice that the additional payout in May 2020, they are also giving out the 75% of the November 2019 wages. If you look over here, in fact, they are dispersing, or they are reimbursing you for the whole month of November 2019. Okay, just to help the business to tide over this difficult period where you are digging into your cash reserve and you have limited cash in this case. But of course, at the same time, in the month of October 2020, you will need to pay back the 75% of the November 2019 wages. So for all the financial controller out there, do take note about how is the payout is being paid out and plan for your cash flow. All right, you really need to plan for your cash flow management. And a word of advice over here for all the businessmen out there: checking your bank account balance every day is not a way of managing your bank balance. All right, that's not a way to manage your cash flow. You really need to sit down with your accountants. You really need to sit down with your advisor, all right, and discuss how to make full use of the money and whether do you have enough cash to tide over your business over this period of time, because cash is king. Okay, and I always tell my customer over here, a company can incur losses every year, but it cannot run out of cash. So do take note. And if you really need help in the cash planning or cash flow management, do speak to me and I see what I can do to help you. But I will not lend you any money. All right. So just take note. All right. Plan for your own cash flow. Now, this is actually for the aviation sector. All right, it's a similar concept, but what you have seen over here is that they have 75% throughout, right? Unlike us, where we only have 25%. Okay. Now, in May, in the extension of the budget, all right, in May, the extension of the job support scheme. Now, the wages of the director and shareholder of a company are now covered. Now, what does this mean? Previously, in the month of April, when they launched the JSS job support scheme, individuals who were previously under a sole proprietorship, they decided to go into private limited. All right. So when they from a sole proprietorship, they go into the private limited, the business is still small. They are still struggling. So therefore, they did not give themselves any salary. In fact, if the company do make profit, they will only draw out dividend instead of salary. So in this case, this group of people may be the group of people that is missing out most in the JSS. All right. Now, if they do draw a salary, okay, from sole proprietorship, they come out to convert it to a private limited, and they draw a salary from there. Because they are the director and the shareholder, previously, IRAS goes to them and tell them, say that, the job support scheme is not able to subsidize because you are a director and also the shareholder. So we are not going to subsidize your salary at all because your salary could be very high. Okay, although there is a cap of 4,006. Okay, but I think the grounds has actually feedbacks to the IRAS as well as the government, and they decided that all right, from now onwards, the wages of a director and shareholder of a company may be covered. Okay, so but there are a few conditions. The company is registered on or before 20th of April 2020, which means that you can't just rush in and go and incorporate your company right now. So wages of the director and shareholder with assessable income of 100,000 will then be allowed. So if your income is actually more than 100,000 annually, okay, and for this one, you will probably have already submit your personal tax in the month of April to the IRAS. So from there, then they will assess and determine whether do you qualify for does your salary qualify under the JSS scheme. This will also be done automatically, so there's no need for you to give a call to IRAS. But of course, if you want to appeal, I'm sure that IRAS have other ways to allow you to appeal.